Hello, this is the season 2 finale. Why is it called Echo? Because I wanted to make a title that had absolutely nothing to do with the episode. There's nothing about an echo in here. He who's back again? He who will be back in season 4. Do not worry. I don't know if that one will be back. That will be back. Tommy will definitely be back. This is the season 2 finale. And I kind of wanted to take it back to its roots. So if you notice in this episode, there's really no storyline. It's just random skits. Kind of how the show started. And I kind of wanted to go back to the roots of the show just for the finale, just for the season 2 finale, because the show changed so much throughout season 2. I said, hey, let me do one episode, see if I can do it again, or not do it again, but see if I can do an episode in my old format and do it better. And this episode taught me that no, stick with what you were doing, stick with the storylines, stick with that. Okay, that's the guy from. See, I'm referencing the pilot and all that in the finale. So, you know, good season finale, I guess, but could have been better. And I was also making fun of the wooden acting in season 1. That's why I'm. But I mean, also I was kind of showcasing how bad of an actor he was, but I was also conveying how wooden my performances were in most of the season 1 skits. But that's the guy from the How I Met Your Mother skit from the first episode. He's trying to act. He's trying to get a part. He's trying to get a part on the Tripper Getem Show. But he's just not right for the part, so we didn't let him join. But I forgot. That line is so random and it's fucking funny to me. There's Ralph. And just as I was about to say, you can usually tell what a character or who a character is by the shirt they wear. Like Tommy always wears that blue and white shirt. Ralph wore a red shirt in the Halloween and the other episode that he was in. 16, I guess. Yeah, television. This one he's wearing a yellow shirt, so his shirts can change. It's his hair that's going to signify Ralph. Tommy can't be Tommy without the shirt he wears. Tripper can wear any shirt. Yep. He didn't tell me not to. That's the one thing I don't like about Ralph, is I always have to put nasty things in my mouth. No homo. But I always put Band-Aids, but Band-Aids are not that good. I don't know why Ralph likes them so much. I don't know why I wrote Band-Aids. I mean, they're not terrible. I mean, you're not going to puke off of them, but they're not as good as Ralph makes it out to sound. Now, that is legit truth. And I always said to myself, if Surge came back, that I would showcase it as much as I could in anything that I did. So, and there's a ton of songs I've made since the return of Surge, where I mention Surge, I'm sipping Surge, and blah, 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 Surge. And in the first season of the Tripper Getem Show, Surge was not back at that point, so there's no Surge in season 1. But when it came back and I started doing season 2, I said, yo, I'm putting Surge some way, shape, or form in every episode. And now that's paying, well, not not really paying homage or homage, however you fucking say it. I guess it would. That's paying homage to like the third episode of season 2, app. Uh, I kind of wanted to bring some things that I did earlier in the season back, like Ralph and shit like that. The cheapest video effect you could make. But Neil Breen uses it all the time. And Neil Breen is the greatest director of all time. So.
Let me guess. You want my surge too? Surge? Fuck that.
You know how hard it was for me to say that?
What?
It wasn't very hard. I was acting.
Did you say?
It's not really. I think I picked a bad episode to do this on because there's really not much to say about this one.
I'll ask you again.
I don't really remember anything particularly interesting that happened during the making of this episode. I don't remember any fuck-ups that I made in this episode, other than I should have maybe took more time writing the scripts and the skits. But this skit was mainly, well, not mainly wrote just so I could show Vault, but I wanted to do a Surge skit where I ended up showing Vault.
Come here.
Because, you know, I love Vault. It's just, Surge is better.
You motherfucker.
So I don't really remember much about this. I mean, I remember the episode, but I don't remember stuff. I don't remember what that says right there, but if you look on the not chalkboards, but the little dry erase boards, they say shit. I change it up. Like at the end, it's like season 3 coming soon, and then one of them says, actually, I don't even know if it says anything right there. But in the last part, it's like the original intro to the Tripper Getem Show was written on a dry erase board, or had a dry erase board, had the show's name written in it. You can find pictures on Instagram of it and all that. I think that's what I was saying back in the first one, the first commentary Tuesday, where I talked about that. This is the Smokers from episode 10, which is funny because if you want to know how episodes get wrote, it could be anything. Like that skit, well, not that skit in particular, but the original episode with the smoking guys, and hey, pick that up, no littering with them 2 characters right there, happened because I was walking into Walmart. I was like in the parking lot, but I was walking up, and I just saw a guy, he's smoking a cigarette, and I just saw him throw it on the ground. And I instantly thought in my head, I was like, hey, pick that up, no littering. Like, so I was like, oh, I want to tell him that, like, no littering, why are you, don't do that. And I was like, that's the episode. I don't snap like you do. Oh, I forgot about this. Love this. I have to shut up on this. But I snap like this, by the way. I don't snap like that. I can't do it. Snap like that.
What a beautiful day. Hey, asshole. Me? Yeah, you. And now, you're gonna pay. How much? Do you even know who I am? Homeless man? No, asshole. No, asshole. I'm the guy you used to call.
This skit was not the skit, like what it was about, but the way I did it, like with the pictures, like that, was inspired by Robert Benford. If you know who Robert Benford is, you might know him from Clay World. He made the Clay World series and the movie Clay World Off the Table, stuff like that. He's always been some sort of a inspiration to me. So, like this, he used to do. I just kind of froze up for a minute. I don't know, but he did a thing a while back where it was I don't even remember what it's called. It was something from, I don't know. But he would basically do what I did. And he would talk and like act out a scene or whatever. But it would be with pictures, and they would change with different shits. And that's what I wanted to do. And I did it. So I'm not, I shout out to Robert Benford. I ain't taking credit for it. And I will tell you when I'm inspired by someone else to do a certain thing. The pizza skit, the pizza skit from episode 4 of season 1 was actually also inspired by Robert Benford, but that's it.
Sir, it looks like your card is not canceled. It's not canceled? No.
See, this skit was kind of like a metaphor, I guess. I was not talking about a credit card. I was basically talking about the show. I was like, so you just replace card with show? My show's not canceled? Like, I was like, yeah, it's not canceled. It's coming back. That's the one where it tells you. I love this ending, though. I thought it was a good way to end the season. And kind of a peek into how the first episode of season 3 would end. But I'll save that for another commentary Tuesday. They do. And they change fast. They change very fast. But yeah, I think I picked a dud to pick this week because, I mean, it's a good episode, sure. It's got some funny parts. It's not terrible. It's far from the worst episode of the show. But as far as a commentary, I really didn't realize how little I had to say about this episode. There wasn't any things that stood out during the production that I recall. There weren't any things that I had to go back and reshoot. It just kind of went smooth. I shot it, put it together, and put it out. There was nothing that really stood out about it. There's no really cool stories about making this episode or anything. So that in that regard, it is a dud. At least a dud to do a commentary on, just because of the lack of interesting. But you got to learn a little bit. I genuinely like the episode. It's not my favorite, but it's far from the worst. It's far from my least favorite. Yeah. So that's it. I'm going to go and get the fuck up out of here. And I'll catch y'all next Tuesday on another Commentary Tuesday where we look at another episode of the Tripper Getem Show.